Its institutions in shambles, the Central African Republic has become nearly lawless. Ruthless carnage has driven 500,000 people from their homes, and the United Nations says more than 1 million face severe food shortages. That's more than a quarter of the country's entire population.
The situation in the country is very worrying. It's really on the verge of total collapse, and we have shockingly high levels of violence and human rights violations.
And now the conflict appears to be taking a sectarian turn. Back in March, Muslim Seleka rebels overthrew the government and seized the capital, Bangui. Since then, they've been accused of indiscriminate killings, lootings, and sexual violence.
But also, and that's a bit more new, by groups that call themselves anti-Balaka, which means anti-machete, who are retaliating for Seleka abuses against civilian Muslim populations with frankly, the same levels of violence and brutality.
In an interview earlier this month, Valerie Amos, the UN's top humanitarian official, told CCTV her people can barely leave the capital.
United Nations premises were all looted across the country. We are beginning to go outside of Bangui again, but it has taken us much longer than it should have done.
UN Security Council members are mulling the deployment of blue helmet troops to be used as a peacekeeping force. The African Union, or AU, has about 1,000 troops on the ground and plans to scale up to a 3,600-member mission, but that's not likely until next year.
To bring back a measure of confidence from the population, you need a strong peacekeeping mission on the ground. Right now, you have a few AU peacekeepers who have been deployed with not very positive effects, sadly. So we need blue helmets on the ground quickly.
And Amos says the UN's global appeal for humanitarian dollars is coming up short.
We have a huge role to play, not just on the humanitarian side, but in stabilizing the institutions, stabilizing the political situation, and getting the funding in.
Of course, the decision to send UN blue helmets to Central African Republic ultimately rests with the Security Council, where some members are wary of getting involved in a grisly and potentially costly conflict. Security Council members are expected to discuss the Secretary General's latest report on the C.A.R. later this month. Stephen Fee, CCTV, New York.